The Marvel vs. Capcom series is one of the craziest and most enjoyable crossovers around. Seeing the heroes and villains of Marvel Comics teaming up or fighting against the cast of Capcom's video games is good fun. The last game in the series, Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, contained the same insane fighting game action that fans love, while also delivering some pretty impressive visuals. Now the crossover adventure continues with Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, a game that has had its fair share of detractors leading up to its release, but it's a game I was personally quite excited for. After delving into this newest fighting game from Capcom, it's time to share what I liked about this game. Here are my game reflections for Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. Longtime viewers of my channel know I love story-driven games, and that's why I was ecstatic to hear that Marvel vs. Capcom had a fully featured story mode. Previous games had an arcade mode that had some brief interactions between the characters, but nothing really extensive. Infinite, on the other hand, contains a full story with fights peppered in all throughout, allowing you to be part of the action. The story of this game has the heroes of both Marvel and Capcom universes fighting against Ultron Sigma, a fusion of the Avengers villain Ultron and the main antagonist of Mega Man X, Sigma. Ultron Sigma wields 2 of the 6 Infinity Stones, namely the Reality Stone and the Space Stone. Through the limitless power of these gems, Ultron Sigma has merged the 2 universes together, and it plans to eradicate all organic life. Characters like Captain America, Chun, Iron Man, Chris Redfield, Rocket Raccoon, and many more team up to put an end to Ultron Sigma's reign of terror. However, over the course of this conflict, it becomes clear that their only hope of victory lies in obtaining the other 4 Infinity Stones. And the only person in the universe who understands the Infinity Stones better than anyone else is the Mad Titan Thanos, one of the greatest threats of the Marvel world. Upon freeing Thanos, the Marvel and Capcom characters form an uneasy alliance with the Mad Titan, and begin seeking out the stones of the mind, power, time, and the soul. Along the way, heroes encounter villains from both universes like Dormammu and Jedha Doma, who acts as the game's secondary antagonist. There are some great surprises and fun cameos from both Marvel and Capcom alike, and one monster that appears later on in the story mode made for a very exciting sequence.
What is...
Something ancient. Yet changed. Huh? The Elder Dragon. Daren Moran.
It's infected with the Sigma virus.
What I really liked about this game's story is just getting to see the interactions between all of the game's characters. The team up with Hulk and Ryu is awesome, and there's a great scene between Ghost Rider and the seductive succubus, Morrigan.
I sense such desire in you. A fire.
For justice, for retribution.
Not for me. Or for me. Oh. No. A pity. We have so much in common. Our passion, great bone structure. But if you will not give me what I need, I will take it from you.
There are a few moments that fall flat, but in general I really appreciated and enjoyed seeing the crossover scenes with each of the game's characters. I particularly like the villain of Ultron Sigma, as I feel that these 2 characters made for the best boss battle of the Marvel vs. Capcom series. Ultron Sigma seems near unstoppable, and so I love the neat plot twist in how the heroes ended up defeating this metallic foe. I found the story mode of Infinite to be extremely enjoyable, and while the ending left me wanting more due to its open-ended nature, I really love the crossover tale this game provides, and it's one I've been waiting to see since I first played Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Speaking of Marvel vs. Capcom 2, the 3-on-3 tag team gameplay that debuted in that title has been changed for the series' 4th chapter. You now select 2 of the 30 characters in the game's roster to bring into battle. Once the fight begins, you can pummel opponents with 2 punch buttons and 2 kick buttons. Mashing light punch will trigger an auto combo, allowing your character to get in an easy sequence of attacks, followed by a short air combo. This is a nice system, especially for newcomers, as it makes for an easy combo that anyone can perform. However, it ultimately lacks the punch and pizzazz of more skilled attacks and combos, and if you really want to get good at this game, you will need to learn the ins and outs of each character's move list. A lot of characters play just like you remember, and a majority of the returning characters have all new moves, like Thor's ability to toss his hammer Mjolnir and call it back to him. Special moves are performed by doing various directional inputs, and then pressing the corresponding attack button. The same applies for the game's flashy super moves, that will either require 1 full hypermeter or 3, depending on the super move. These attacks are as fun and thrilling as ever, and it's an awesome feeling when you land a long combo and finish off with a super move.
Target applied. Here's the big one. Proton cannon.
Tag actions are equally as vital to the combat. By pressing the tag button, you can tag out with your partner. Unlike previous games, your partner will linger in the arena a bit longer than before, and so you have to be more careful when you tag out. This adjusted mechanic now allows for more tag team combo potential, but it also allows for more damage to be done to your team. Switch out partners recklessly, and you will be punished for it. One of the new gameplay mechanics in this game is the use of the Infinity Stones in combat. Before every match, you select one of the 6 gems, with each one giving you advantages in a fight. You can use Infinity Surge, which briefly uses the stone's power like a teleport with the Time Stone, or a nifty grab attack with the Mind Stone. Once the Infinity Meter is filled, you can activate the Infinity Storm, where you unleash the full power of the stone and can hopefully turn the tide of the match in your favor. For example, the Soul Stone can revive a fallen teammate, and the Power Stone doubles your attack power and knocks down even the sturdiest of opponents. The Infinity Stones are a blast to bring into each match, and you'll soon find the gems that work best for you. My personal favorites to bring into a fight were the Power Stone, the Reality Stone, and the Time Stone. They are just so much fun to use. You can practice your skill for each fighter in the game's mission mode and tutorials, and once you are ready for a challenge, you can bring them into arcade mode, where you face off against a traditional ladder of opponents, with a final face-off against the game's boss. I wish that the game had arcade endings for each character, as the game just shows a congratulations screen and then goes directly to the credits. I still found the arcade mode very enjoyable though, and it is my most played mode outside of the game's story. While I am one of those people who is content to just play single-player modes in fighting games, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite does offer online modes for those who wish to test their skill against other players. This game offers both ranked and casual matches, but to be honest, I had trouble finding matches. It might have been just me, but I found the best place to challenge other players was in the lobby feature. Here, up to 8 players can duke it out as well as spectate other matches. This is one of the more enjoyable lobby modes I've played in a fighting game, and even though I have yet to win a match in the lobbies, I still have enjoyed trying out my character combinations and special moves. I found Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite to be a fun fighting game, both in single player and online. The character lineup for this game has been a little controversial, as it lacks series mainstays like Doctor Doom, Wolverine, Magneto, and several other Marvel characters. Honestly, I do miss these characters, as several of the X-Men were notable parts of the series, and gave the franchise its start with X-Men vs. Street Fighter. That being said, the character roster is still quite impressive, and having 30 characters to choose from the outset is nothing to sneeze at. New characters like Captain Marvel and Jedha are incredibly dynamic, and all of the returning characters have received some cool tweaks. Plus, there is more DLC characters on the way, like Marvel's Venom and Capcom's Monster Hunter, so the roster will only get more expansive and exciting from here. As long as Capcom keeps the DLC prices fair and the upcoming content enticing, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite will be a great game to come back to in the months to come. Another point of contention leading up to the game's release were the game's visuals. And to be honest, I actually really do like the graphics for this game. It may lack the cel-shaded comic book flair of Marvel vs. Capcom 3, but the game's visuals are still quite good. I love the little touches like the freckles on Morrigan's cheeks and the chips in Iron Man's armor. There are a couple of awkward animations here and there, but taken as a whole, I found the art style and graphics of Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite to be pretty impressive. The game's character tunes also return, and I rather like the new version of character themes, like Iron Man's theme, which is eerily similar to his theme music from the film Iron Man 3. And I also enjoyed the main theme of the game whenever you were at the main menu. The soundtrack is more orchestral and varied compared to Marvel vs. Capcom 3, but I like both styles of music in the series, and the music adds to the impact of each new fight. In conclusion, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite is an exciting new entry into this beloved crossover series. It's by no means perfect, and your enjoyment will vary based on how much you like the roster and the revised fighting mechanics. Personally, I found this game to be very fun, and I was a big fan of the game's story mode and the new innovations to the mechanics. Capcom took a risk shaking up the formula of the series, and in my opinion, Infinite might very well be my favorite game in this franchise. It's super fantastic crossover fun. Thank you for watching this episode of Game Reflections. What are your thoughts on Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite? What characters would you like to see added to the game? Feel free to share in the comments below. Until next time, keep having great adventures, everyone.
It's an awesome responsibility.
Hey, we're awesome guys. Yeah.
Nice.
My God, we're doomed.